The information, comments, and recommendations contained herein are not within the scope of investment consultancy. Investment advisory service is provided within the framework of the investment advisory service to be signed between the customer and beekeeping institutions, per education companies, non-deposit accepting banks. My comments on this channel are only my personal comments. These comments belong to you. Your financial situation and risk return may not be appropriate. Therefore, no investment should be made based on the information and comments on my channel.
Good evening, everyone. October 25th, our hours are 17. How are we completing this week in the markets, and what will we follow next week? What should gold and silver investors especially pay attention to? Also, an important thing at the end of my video, I will make a warning visually. Well, we will write this aside as well. For today, there is a 0.65-point decrease in the 8814-point level on Borsa Istanbul. Technically, the 8,800-point level is a critical support level for us. Will the effort to keep it above the 8,800-point level continue? We will continue to follow it. There is a resistance level of 9,050 points above. Again, the stock market investor will continue to wait, and without any interest rate move from the central bank. Well, it seems that the stalling trend here will continue, especially the upward movements that we expect in the 6-month period in the Borsa Istanbul 100 index. We will continue to wait, but there are still risks in downward trends, such as the level of 8,600 points and 8,650 points. Well, again, if our friends in the stock market want to make additions and reduce costs, they need to wait below the level of 8,800 points in downward movements. The dollar exchange rate is at the level of 34.28 kurush on the official exchange rate side. The dollar rate is still lower in the free markets. I would especially like to point out that the dollar rate on the official exchange rate is at the level of 34.28 kurush in the free markets. Well, it is currently at the level of 34.22 kurush. There is a scissor gap of 0.60 kurush. This means that there are upward movements on the dollar side. It doesn't seem like it will last long. Eventually, it continues to keep up with the free markets. Well, the euro-dollar parity is finishing the week with an increase. Especially there is a level of 10833 in the euro-dollar parity, as you know on the euro side. I have often stated in the last week that the euro is cheaper than the dollar. It had fallen to the level of 0770. The euro-dollar parity is again in my other videos. Well, although the level of 1.3 above is in a resistance position, there is a risk related to the level of 1.05 and 5 below. However, which will be tested first? There is still an indecision here, especially the 25 basis point interest rate from the European Central Bank. The discount process will continue again, and in the economic data coming from the European region, whether the euro-dollar quality will reach 0.5 or EE 112.80 level first. By the end of the year, we will be able to get a clearer answer to this question in the coming months. But when you look at the current issue, it is E1. Euro-dollar parity in the range of 0770 to 10870. Do not delay. This process of delay will continue again until the American elections on November 5th. In my opinion, well, especially to our friends who invest in foreign currency or see foreign currency as an investment tool. If you are going to buy at least one paper currency, it should not be the dollar. It should be the euro. Because the euro-dollar quality it continues to remain low compared to the dollar, and our expectation for the 112,281.13 level at the end of this year still continues. Our friends can use the declines as a buying opportunity, especially who can use them if they have TL. Well, on the ounce gold side, our certain decline expectation on the silver side continues, but therefore, in order not to remain in the open, this TL can be evaluated on the euro side, for example. If it will not be evaluated on the dollar side, the TL exchange rate is at the level of 37 lira and 9 kurush, again on the official exchange rate side. In the free markets, exchange rates are cheaper, for example, in the closed market at the level of 37L08 kurush. Again, the dollar and euro exchange rate, we observe that it is cheaper in the free markets. You can consider this as an opportunity. There is an expensive euro on the official exchange rate. Well, I would like to declare verbally that it is a cheap euro in the free markets. Again, our friends who carry out their foreign exchange transactions through the bank should pay attention to this. Well, Since October 29th is a holiday. Due to the public holiday, banks will be working until noon on Monday. Official institutions and organizations will provide services until noon. Our friends who have transactions on the foreign exchange side, such as buying, selling, money transfer, etc., who have transactions on the official side, must make a note of this half. Banks are on Monday. If you have a job at a trading or transfer point that will be open until noon, or if you have a job at official institutions and organizations, please be informed. Monday afternoon is a public holiday. On Tuesday, markets and banks, official institutions and organizations are closed. You can make your decision accordingly. Parity on the euro and E side. We also made our comment on the ounce gold side. It is at the level of $2,732. As you know, this week on the ounce gold side, we saw an increase up to the level of $2,757. There the rate of increase was stopped. We saw a downward trend again. Here we saw a sale of $40 in the downward trend. It decreased to the level of $2,717. Currently, it is $2,733. We have 1 ounce of gold at the level. The band gap here is stalled. The band gap is $2,717 above. The $2,737 level is still our bearish expectation. We will not buy ounces of gold at these levels. We will not buy grams of gold at these levels. We prefer to wait. We do not have any problems in terms of patience. We are patient investors. We are investors with a goal. That's why we set a certain target for ourselves. We continue to wait on the sidelines regarding the $2,580 level. We continue to wait on the dollar. We continue to point to the euro side so that the investors who hold TL will not be left in the open, and our bearish expectation on the ounce gold side continues. Let's wait until the elections in America are over on November 5th. Let's see who will come and who will be president. Will it be Trump or Kamala? We will see the answer to this question in the coming weeks. There are many uncertainties, etc. Therefore, ounce gold continues to hover in such a narrow band range. Of course, my expectation regarding the $2,800 level at the end of the year remains valid. It has already seen the $2,750 level. It has already tested the annual resistance levels. It is already in the $2,500 to $3,000 range in Turkey. Personally, it is unnecessary for me to pay high prices when there is gold. Let's look at the gram gold side. Gram gold is currently at the level of 3,143 lira in the free markets. We have seen a gram of gold rising to the level of 3,157 lira, above the 3,150 lira level. My warning to gram gold investors is always the same. Where's the gram gold? Here too, it is stuck in the 3,100 to 3,150 lira range. Do not linger in this band. We continue to wait for ounce gold on the side. Since we expect a decrease in ounce gold, downward movements on the gram gold side will not be a surprise for us. But I would like to underline it again, due to the dollar-TL exchange rate. Since the dollar continues to maintain its power stance, it is important to note that the withdrawals on the gram gold side may not be as fast as the ounce gold side. Once again, we will complete the year in this band range of 3350 to 3380, related to the end of the year. The year is already over for us. We only have 8% by position left on the ounce gold side. Then, there is no problem for us. The ounce price of silver is at the level of $3.83. Here, in the known upward attacks, it went above the $35 level. It rose to the $3,480 level. I apologize. I expressed that I expect a withdrawal from here again to the $31 level. So it is too early to buy or it is in hand. Those who hold silver should continue to hold it. Our expectation for the $37 level continues. Our expectation for the $45 to $47 level in 2025 still continues. After those levels are reached, we will make an upward revision. Of course, we will. Silver, the champion of 2024, made a good show this week, both on the ounce side. Why did he do this show on the gram side? Because we saw a sharp decline in the gold-silver ratio. It was at the level of 85 to 86. The ratio decreased to the level of 7,880. We already follow the ratio and I shared it with you in all my videos on Saturday last week. The ratio is important to us. Well, we are at the 85 level. We took a position on the side and we continue to wait for the 72 level with our companions. I personally do not think of making any moves before reaching the 72 level. Currently, the gold-silver ratio is 80. At the 76th level, it has risen above the 80 level again. I explained what the ratio means in my other videos and last week's videos. These videos are below, for those who are curious. Our friends should follow closely what the ratio means again. As I said, in the short term, my expectation for the $31 level continues. Would I buy silver with $1 at these levels? I would prefer to wait. So, what is the price per gram of silver? It is currently at 37 lira. We saw it above the 38 lira level again this week. Our expectation for the gram price of silver at the end of this year was again at the level of $37, 37 liras, 37 liras. My lord did not disappoint. Thank God. Now on the ounce gold side, we expect it to be at the $37 level, but since my expectation of a decrease on the ounce silver side continues, I expected the $31 level. The decline in the gram price of silver will not be a surprise to me either. What is my expectation? Well, here is probably a strong support level at 35.80. The second strong support level is below 34.80. I will continue to comment on the support levels for you next week. Well, the barrel price of brand oil is at the level of $75.06. It is completing the week with a 1% premium rise. I do not expect a decline. On the contrary, I expect an increase. Well, we have seen sharp fluctuations on the Bitcoin side again. This week, it is currently at the level of $8.46. It is related to my downward retreat. That is, it is related to the level of $63,500. The expectation remains valid again. Well, the Bitcoin side is generally in America. He is pricing the election results in. In other words, he is pricing Trump's future. That is why he continues to maintain such a high power stance. As you know, Trump gave positive messages to the world about the cryptocurrency market. Well, we will make America a crypto paradise. We will invest this much. We will do this. We will take it from China. He made a statement that China will not take the cream of this business. We will eat it. That's why investors in the cryptocurrency market focused on Trump a little more. They focused on Trump's presidential process. If Trump is elected, upward attacks on the Bitcoin side will be inevitable. This is our prediction 2 months ago about the level of $80,000 by the end of this year. It was at the level of, well, again, this prediction remains valid, but in the short term, it is 63,500. It covers the 4-week period, which I call the short term. I continue to follow the $63,500 to $68,500 range. Dear friends, this week was generally a week without any action or development in both the global and domestic markets. IMF announced reports about Turkey. Foreign companies announced their predictions about Turkey, especially regarding the minimum wage. A finger-wagging report came saying, don't increase the minimum wage too much. Oh, be careful. In the meeting with foreigners, well, the Treasury Minister of Finance, Mr. Shimshek, came to such a market and announced the minimum wage increase. There is such a rumor that it will increase the minimum wage to 25%. There was no such statement from official sources, but Mr. Shimshek, the Minister of Finance, stated that when he met with foreign investors, he thought the minimum wage increase for foreign investors would be 25%, and this was reflected in the press. There are such news flows in the press, but this is what is said. We haven't heard anything yet, dear friends. As you know, well, I am preparing you for December, and every day, at the end of each video, my struggle for awareness about December continues. Today's topic, dear friends, is physical gold. When you go to the jeweler, Seraphai Group, quarter gold, half gold, ornamental gold, such as Republic Gold, when you go to buy gold from Seraphai Group, unfortunately we have friends who focus very much on the dates written on the gold. Is this the new date or the old date? Why is this new? This is old. Why should we buy the new date? Should we buy the old date? Generally, ladies and gentlemen, when ordering, go to the jeweler after work. When you ask the jeweler how much is the new dated quarter gold, the jeweler asks you whether it is the new date or the old date, and in a quarter gold, there is at least a 50 lira difference between the new date and the old date. Why is there this difference? Is it possible? Of course not. This is something related to demand. Well, it started about 10 years ago. Look, it has been exactly 10 years and 15. Maybe women especially celebrate Gold Day. As you know, when they do Gold Day, They look at their quarter gold coins like this. Oh, mine is the new date. Yours is the old date. This process started because yours looks old, ladies, in the days of gold, and therefore, when there are many old gold coins in the market, old gold coins with old mintage dates, what does the market do? It collects them and sends them back to the mint. The mint melts them down again. New minted quarter gold, Republic gold, half gold, Zenit gold are put on the market. It continues again. So there is a difference in waste. Due to this difference in fire, there is demand, supply, and demand. Therefore, due to the difference in fire, this price difference between the new date and old date prices was actually initiated by the society, the customer, the gold investor itself. No one is at fault. The society initiated this, especially on the gold day. Women who made this process started this process. This process came and went like this until today. For example, I have a Republic gold in my hand right now. This is a Republic gold. I would like to especially express that in Turkey, quarter gold, half gold, Zenit gold is like Republic gold. Sarafi products are printed by the Mint General Directorate. The refineries belong to the Mint General Directorate. All the quarter gold coins we use, Sarafi Group golds, are printed by the Mint General Directorate. The date of printing is written at the bottom. Dear friends, 100 is written on it. The anniversary of the Republic is written, well, and next week is October 29th, Republic Day. As you know, there is a new press here too. Under the Republic, it will write 101, and the printing date of each year is written here. Under the quarter you see in my hand, for example, the printing date here is 2024. For example, this quarter gold is mine. I went and bought it physically from the jeweler today. I put it aside and bought it for investment purposes. What happens after 3 months? The years are 2025. This time, the Mint's general manager's stamp will say 2025, not 2024, on all quarters. Well, I bought this quarter 3 months ago, or I bought it the day before the new year. On March 31st, I went and bought it physically from the jeweler. I put it aside, and a day later, the Mint's general manager put the 2025 dated prints on the market again. What happened to my environment? Has it lost its value? No, nothing has happened. What I want to tell you today is definitely when you buy Sarafi Group gold physically from jewelers, do not insist on the new date. Citizens who continue to insist, gold investors, in my opinion, made a loss. Why did they make a loss? They insistently paid 50 lira for each. So, what will happen after 3 months? The gold in your hands will be old. Do you need it? It's for nothing. You are paying money for nothing. Therefore, since I have prepared the month of December for you, there is now awareness. At this point, we will throw away many of our habits. That's why I'm telling you this. The topic may be a simple one, but it plays below the simple point of a quarter. Imagine buying 12 quarter gold coins throughout the year. What is the need? Therefore, such numbers may seem small to you. But quarter gold is quarter gold. Nothing changes, and I would like to insist that these newly printed dated moments will cause losses. That's why when you go, request an old date, buy an old date, buy it 50 liras cheaper. Don't be stuck with the dates on it. Well, for example, the Resat gold you see in my hand is known as Resat gold, and so far it is 0% in the markets. Because it is 21 karat, why is it forbidden to print it until now? Its sale was free, and therefore it was forbidden to print 22 karat. It enters into counterfeiting and fraud. Therefore, they were printing 21 karat in the markets, and it is sold in this way. Spending 2500 T has never been easier. Multiply the money and keep your profit. Become a member of Bitlo now and step into the cryptocurrency world with advantages. Let the revolution begin. You can see from the news in the search engine how much effort I made for the General Directorate of Resat Gold to print it 10 years ago. You can see that I fought hard to get this printed to the general manager of the Dirpan, and I made presentations to the treasury and finance ministers of the period. Well, I made statements to the general manager of the Mint, and in columns, etc. I worked hard to get the general manager of the Mint to print this, and the general directorate of the Mint is now 22 karat Resat Gold. And Resat Gold is now sold in the markets without any workmanship. My excuse that day was, of course, there will be an excuse for everything. Why does such a thing need to happen? I mean, the production of something is forbidden and its sale is free. Can such a ridiculous thing happen? Therefore, people and producers are 21 karat as well. He was printing this and selling it in the markets at a low 22 carat price. There was an abuse. I eliminated this abuse. He also stated that this was unnecessary and demanded by the citizens, the consumers, and the society. It started, and after 104 years, the General Directorate of Mint prints Resat gold as 22 carat and puts it on the market. From now on, if you buy Resat gold physically from jewelers, your jeweler will ask you if it is 22 carat. If it is not 22 carat, the price should be cheaper and its sale should be prohibited. Because the jewelers have to buy the 21 karat gold circulating in the market and put it back into the quota, that is, they have to melt it down. There is no victimization for the citizens, that is, there is no problem with the Resat gold in the hands of the citizens. They are already spoiling it, but reselling it is not normal, it is not moral, and there is no need to victimize the citizens. It is forbidden to sell it, and in the future, jewelers will take the 21 karat gold in your hands, throw it into scrap, melt it down, and it will be offered again as 22 karat gold on all shelves as a service to our citizens. Well, this is exactly the gold you see in my hand. The date 2024 is written on it. For example, they insist on a new date. Whenever you want, for example, a quarter gold. How much difference did you pay between the new and the old? 50 liras. So, how much difference does it make when it goes below 200 liras? Because it makes 4 quarters exactly, and therefore if you insist on the new date to buy it, you will have paid more than 200 liras in labor. Why pay 200 liras? I will give you the extra money. I will buy it on March 31st. I will put it aside. I will go on January 1st. I will buy a new date. What is the need to play 200 liras in the meantime? And therefore we do not make such moves anymore. Since December, we do not do it anymore, and from now on, there will definitely be no such thing as gold with an old date and a new date. It is not in our vocabulary. We are throwing away these old habits, and from now on, we buy all our Serify Group golds with old dates. Friends, that's all I have to say for today. I greet you, your children, and your family in advance. I wish you a good weekend. God bless you. Goodbye.